Imagine buying your dream Ferrari, only to be told by the company's founder that you're the problem. Most people would walk away angry. One man walked away and built a company that would become Ferrari's biggest nightmare. But here's what almost everyone gets wrong. Lamborghini wasn't built because of revenge. It became an empire because its founder understood customers better than Ferrari did. This is the incredible story of how a tractor manufacturer changed the supercar industry forever. In the world of exotic cars, few names carry as much emotion as Lamborghini. The sound of a naturally aspirated V12. The razor-sharp design. The outrageous colors. The unmistakable presence. For millions of people around the world, Lamborghini represents success, ambition, and the courage to stand out. Yet decades ago, this company didn't even exist. Its founder wasn't a racing legend. He wasn't a famous engineer. He didn't come from a family that built sports cars. He built tractors. And that's exactly why he saw something the entire automotive industry had overlooked. To understand Lamborghini, we first have to understand the man behind the bull. Ferruccio Lamborghini grew up in rural Italy, surrounded by farms and machinery. From a young age, he loved taking machines apart, understanding how they worked, and putting them back together better than before. During World War II, he served as a mechanic, repairing military vehicles under extremely difficult conditions. That experience taught him something priceless. Machines fail. But every failure has a reason. And every reason has a solution. After the war, Italy was rebuilding. Farmers desperately needed tractors, but buying brand new equipment was almost impossible. Ferruccio saw opportunity where everyone else saw scrap. Across the country, abandoned military vehicles were sitting unused. Instead of seeing junk, he saw raw materials. He began converting military engines and components into affordable tractors. His timing couldn't have been better. Italian agriculture expanded rapidly, and demand for reliable farming equipment exploded. His company, Lamborghini Trattori, became one of the fastest-growing manufacturers in Italy. Within just a few years, Ferruccio was no longer just a mechanic. He was one of Italy's wealthiest industrial entrepreneurs. Success allowed him to buy something he had always admired: luxury sports cars. Among them were Alfa Romeos, Jaguars, Maseratis, and several Ferraris. Ferrari was already becoming a symbol of Italian excellence. Its cars were fast, beautiful, and admired around the world. Owning one was a statement. But Ferruccio quickly noticed something unexpected. The cars weren't perfect. They were incredibly exciting to drive. But they were also noisy, uncomfortable, difficult to maintain, and surprisingly unreliable for everyday use. One issue kept returning: the clutch. It failed repeatedly. Every repair cost time and money. Instead of accepting it, Ferruccio investigated. As an experienced manufacturer, he examined the components himself. According to the famous story, he realized that parts similar to those used in industrial machinery were being used inside his Ferrari. Believing he had identified the problem, Ferruccio decided to speak directly with Enzo Ferrari. Whether every word of their conversation happened exactly as history remembers remains debated. But the legend has survived for one reason: because it perfectly represents two completely different ways of thinking. Ferruccio reportedly explained the clutch issue and suggested improvements. Enzo Ferrari was not impressed. According to the story, he dismissed Ferruccio by saying that a tractor builder could never understand the complexity of a Ferrari. For most people, that would have been the end. Not for Ferruccio. Instead of arguing, he made a decision. If nobody will build the sports car I want, I'll build it myself. That sentence changed automotive history forever. In 1963, Ferruccio Lamborghini founded Automobili Lamborghini. But here's the fascinating part. He never wanted to build race cars. Unlike Ferrari, whose entire identity revolved around motorsport, Ferruccio focused on something different. The customer. He believed wealthy buyers didn't spend most of their lives on racetracks. They drove on public roads. They wanted speed without sacrificing comfort. Power without constant mechanical problems. Luxury without compromise. Instead of asking how to make the fastest racing machine, Ferruccio asked a better business question. What kind of car do customers actually want to drive every day? That shift in thinking became Lamborghini's greatest competitive advantage. To make his vision a reality, Ferruccio recruited some of Italy's brightest engineering minds. He encouraged them to question old assumptions instead of copying Ferrari. Innovation became the company's culture. Then came the designs. Most sports cars of the era looked elegant. Lamborghini wanted something unforgettable. Its cars sat impossibly low. Their lines looked like they had been cut with a blade. Every angle screamed speed, even while standing still. People didn't just look at a Lamborghini. They stared. The company understood something that modern luxury brands still follow today. People rarely buy expensive products only because they perform well. They buy because of how those products make them feel. A Lamborghini doesn't simply transport you. It announces your arrival. It creates emotion before the engine even starts. That emotional experience became part of the product itself. Then Lamborghini made another brilliant business decision. Scarcity. Instead of chasing maximum production, the company focused on exclusivity. Fewer cars meant greater demand. Long waiting lists increased desirability. Limited editions became instant collector's items. Customization allowed every owner to feel unique. The company wasn't selling transportation. It was selling identity. That strategy protected prices, strengthened resale value, and made ownership feel even more special. Over the following decades, Lamborghini faced enormous challenges. Economic crises. Oil shortages. Financial difficulties. Changes in ownership. More than once, experts believed the company might disappear forever. Yet every crisis taught Lamborghini how to become stronger. Its identity never changed. Bold. Fearless. Different. Eventually, the company entered a new era with greater financial stability and access to world-class engineering resources. Technology improved dramatically. Quality increased. Performance reached entirely new levels. But Lamborghini carefully protected the rebellious personality that customers had fallen in love with decades earlier. Today, Lamborghini is one of the most recognizable luxury brands on earth. Its cars appear in movies, music videos, social media, and the garages of celebrities, entrepreneurs, athletes, and collectors around the world. Yet the biggest lesson isn't about horsepower, or speed, or even luxury. It's about business. Ferruccio Lamborghini didn't succeed because he hated Ferrari. He succeeded because he noticed a gap that Ferrari ignored. While Ferrari focused on building machines inspired by racing, Ferruccio focused on building machines designed around customers. He proved that industry leaders often become so confident in what made them successful that they stop listening to the people buying their products. And that's when challengers appear. Sometimes the greatest companies in history aren't created by inventing something completely new. They're created by improving what everyone else believes is already perfect. And that may be the most valuable lesson Lamborghini has ever taught the business world.